Okay, let's get started. So let's clear the energy first and just take a few moments to breathe before we start this reading. Okay, so we're going to get to it. I've decided to kind of change my readings up a little bit and focus more on the karmic. So we've had so much emphasis and light put on the divine masculine. It's now time to shine a light on the karmic. So I'm going to pull two of these oracles. And then for the basic energy of the karmic situation within the twin flame. If you are in a twin flame situation and your masculine is not in a karmic situation, this reading is not for you. But it is a collective and it is a general for those in a karmic situation. We are now going to shine the light on the karmic. So, two cards, please. Artificial heart. And yes, I'm in bed because it's quiet in here. Everyone's out there too close to my desk. So I am doing my reading today in my room. One more. Artificial heart. So we have a 12, which is a 3, and a 17, which is an 8. We are in August. And this reminds me of the chariot. Okay, so let's see what I'm picking up. Well, the first thing I'm noticing is the black and white in this card, and the black and white in this card. See this card? Okay, I had to take a moment to make sure that the audio was working properly. So let's get to it because 3 and 8 and 8 and 3 is 11. You know, the problem with the karmic in the twin flame dynamic is that she's the karmic lesson. But the thing about karmic lessons is that once they're done, right? How many times have you been in a relationship? And this is for those that are older. Sorry. And it just hasn't worked out. You don't understand why it worked out, why it didn't work out, but it just didn't work out. And you know that somewhere in there was just a lesson. There was a reason this person came and was temporary in your life. So, based on this current energy of the karmic, because we are reading for the karmic energy, she has a hard time letting go. Plus, she plays these games of hide and seek kind of thing, where she'll taunt with her sensuality, the masculine, because obviously we know that men are very driven by two main things: food and intimacy. It's called intimacy. Um, and so, because we've always been in this dynamic of the male chasing because he's supposed to, because that's active masculine energy. Um, There are feminines out there that take that feminine power knowing that it's like clickbait to a man, especially when you're young and you're fertile. And it's a game of cat and mouse. Um, but those are old, authentic ways that we carried on our behavior. We're not animals. Yes, we are, but we're not. We're of higher intelligence. So, what the karmic is doing is clickbait, and you see it all over TikTok and Instagram and all the social media. The men are all watching the young girls. Um, it's a it's more than just a trend. It doesn't mean it's a healthy one because it's like, excuse me, it's like it's almost like porn, desiring something that looks good but doesn't have any real experience. And I'm talking about the men that are only looking for materialism, not just money, but what their wife, their girlfriend, their girl looks like on their arm because it makes them look successful. So let's get going. This is kind of taking too long, but that's what I picked up. Because she's not after the heart, it's this artificial heart. Let's see what comes out. What does the karmic not see coming? What does the karmic not see coming? Something long term, some results that she has put her energy into. It's Saturn. What else? Chariot. Challenge. And the challenge is the moon. Fear. Illusion. 18, which is a 9. And it's full speed ahead. And this is Mars in Leo, and I believe Mars just came out of Virgo. There's going to be a situation that the karmic finds extremely challenging, and it's going to create a lot of fear. Hidden truths. I feel like they can't tap into their intuition. So it's going to be an ego driven thing because they don't pick up that, you know, they they sowed something, they planted something here artificially, and it may have taken a long time artificially to grow, but now it's coming into fruition. See, we have, look at the horses. We have, these are almost like chariots. This is like the chariot card. So we have two chariots here. There's only 6 cards out here. And there's 2 sevens here. And we have a 1 and a 7 here. So 1 7 7 7. Oh my God. There's this 7. So we have triple sevens, actually. And this is a 1 and a 7. All these cards are 7s. I didn't even realize that. And 7s are spiritual. They're subconscious lessons. Interesting. So the challenge, well, let's dig into the challenge now. What is going to be challenging the karmic? And when I am in my room, I'm still interrupted. So you want to know where his hat was, and it was on his head. Okay. Wow. They're being asked to sacrifice something they don't want to sacrifice. Some of them, it's a belief system. Some of them, it's a commitment, and that part of belief system. But there's a sacrifice here and a challenge. And it's very action oriented. There's another horse. It's coming in quickly. And this is a 3, which is the Hanged Man, and a 5. So, again, another 8. There's a situation here that the karmic is going to have to sacrifice because she's going to be asked to. Spiritually. Yeah, for Jupiter, for temperance, for harmony, for balance. This is also Sagittarius. But Jupiter's the wheel. This is a 1 and a 4, which makes a 5. And this is a 5. So, and 5s are challenges and changes. So this is the challenge. And you should look up 777. As spiritual meaning. And this is, this person was, their heart was not in it. So, of course, there's going to have to be spiritual accountability. As what you do below in the 3D, you do above in the 5D. I'll pull out the oracles here in a minute to get some more details. Give us more on the karmic, shining the light on the karmic. What does the karmic not see coming? What does the karmic that's in a third party with the divine masculine and the divine feminine not see coming? Please, 2 cards. What was that? That's the Queen of Wands. There she is. Okay. She, he, however it resonates. One more, please. Holy Spirit, please give us one more card. There it is. Okay. 10 of Cups, Queen, and the 6 of Wands. Because everybody is supposed to have their person. And if this karmic is not the divine masculine person, obviously, because it wouldn't be in a third party, then, but look, everybody wins. Karmic will get her 10 of Cups, but she has to sacrifice this commitment that she's holding on to. Because that's not her fate. And this queen's even looking away from that, looking towards this Ten of Cups. So let's get some more clarity. And I'm going to pull these oracle cards. I must have 800 here. So I like to just grab a couple at a time. And see what comes out. All right. So let's get down. What is the T for the karmic? What's the T? What's the T? Well, if any of you cut off a karmic, they are still watching. They have split energy. They're confused. I keep getting this boat card, and I've got 1,000 cards over there, and I keep shuffling them up and moving them around, and this card keeps coming out. It makes me feel like just being alone, not having a support system. Excuse me. But also it's water, so this makes me feel that somebody doesn't let their emotional image out because they don't want to look bad. There's a card here that keeps shining at me. What is this? Oh, this belongs in my other deck. It's the Death card. So this karmic knows that this relationship is coming to an end. And I feel like there's a bit of confusion here. It's like she knows that she needs to sacrifice it. But yet she's split. So let's get more on that split energy. What is this split energy? You know what? Let's just pull some here. What is this split energy? Because this has got to go in the other deck, but that's I've got the Death card here. Why is the Death card here? Why is the Death card here with the split energy? And the boat. I'd like to know about the boat. True colors. Twin flames. Because that's the way it is. Bottom of the deck is marriage and wedding. So this has to end. This relationship. Interesting because this couple is actually leaving. They're leaving the church. So we have it's split because there's third party here. Somebody's got to go. All right. Hey, you know what? It is what it is. I can't make this up. So tell me more. Negotiator and begging. So this, wow, what else came out? Posting things directed towards you instead of coming to you directly. Definitely it's someone's posting stuff because this woman's on her on a computer. It's such a creepy card. but she's also begging and trying to negotiate. Okay, well, let's see what else. Did you hear that door shut? Probably didn't, but there was a door that shut. Something has to close and come to closure before something else can start. And she is going to have to sacrifice and let go of this relationship that's not she's not meant to be in. Okay, what else for the karmic? We're not going into the divine masculine. Okay, we have partying, strangulation, and male. What? Okay, so here's where things start to get weird. I keep getting this strangulation card. I also keep getting a perversion card. Um, and hopefully that won't come out again. But this karmic involved this masculine in a lot of stuff. Because I'm picking up swinger kind of things. I mean, the male came out. Acting single, but being in a committed relationship. So that's what kind of gave me that swinger type vibe. What else? And it must have been because their relationship wasn't fulfilling. It was an empty cup. So these people had to do something different to make life interesting, I guess. But that is all about to change. What else? Because now we have an unexplainable pull. Tangled. Yeah, it was probably more of a thing like a visual thing. Like she looked good. And then there was emptiness within the relationship. And then, but they were already entangled up. What else about the karmic? Tell me more about the karmic. So we have no destruction. Interesting. But how can you not care about something you destroy if you don't have a heart? Because this makes me feel like there was nothing here. It was already destroyed before they got there. There were no opportunities in this relationship. It was all based on artificial butterfly memories, Archangel Michael, and toxic lover. So there was intervention here because this relationship is toxic. and the karmic is meant to grow. So when Archangel Michael comes out, he protects both sides. You hear, I don't know if you can hear that going on out there. There's a lot going on in the corridor in the house. Um, it was for both because this relationship was toxic from the beginning. There was nothing to grow. There might be somebody coming in the karmic's life from their past that they need to grow from. It could be feels like family, and it's done in divine timing because this karmic is at a distance from these family people, and something now has sparked them to. It's like a trigger. Okay, so let's keep going here. So as we shine the light on the karmic, what is the outcome of this? Whether she's hurt or not. Wow, I just said outcome, and the outcome card came out. Romance, lessons, imprisonment, and man made disaster. You know, she is her own worst enemy. And she also may have had a past that was really bad in a romantic situation. But none of the readings when the karmic comes out are good, so I thought I would just focus directly on that right now. And so um, I don't know. Gotta be the lion. I don't know. But she will be asked to and tested in bigger and bigger lessons. And just because she wants something fierce feminine, that's what she'll be called to do. Because she's in attachment mode. Also, possibly doing witchcraft or just having a negative mind towards the feminine. Yeah, she's imprisoned in her own disaster. Her own disaster that she made. Why is man-made disaster out here? Imprisonment. Lies, drugs, pray for me, and unfinished business. So this is obviously a lying woman, karmic. She obviously does some pills, things that are not good for her. she's not ready to leave. She feels like she's imprisoned in this relationship with some unfinished business here. So, what is this unfinished business? It's the unfinished business the karmic has with the divine masculine. What is the unfinished business? All right. Oh, what was that? Denial. Oh, great. Repressed. Repressed emotions. You know, she has the inner knowing that this isn't going to happen, but she's hoping it's not. So this just feels like more manipulation. They probably have children together, but they're separated. Traps on the bottom. What else? So she believes this is not a disposable union? Maybe they knew each other from childhood or they have children. We have fantasy and abundance. So again, this karmic is looking at it as this was her blessing, but she's also looking at it in a sense that it she either grew something with this masculine and now they have children. So she feels like he's rightfully hers. What is this? What's the fantasy? He was her soulmate. What is the escaping card? But there's a energy of manipulation and trickery in this. Because this relationship was based on, I keep wanting to say clickbait. I don't know why I want to say that. Time to speak up. Okay. I'm not going to stay too much longer. You know what? Everyone's a karmic one time. They have karmic lessons. So, I mean, selfish, arrogant, pride, and then we have water. I keep getting that water and the boat thing. So, could very well be maybe be a water sign. Uh, Water in the chart in maybe the moon or the sun. But it's definitely emotions. So somebody's ego is in the way. All right, what else? Because this is just messed up. Playing the victim and grieving didn't work out the way they imagined. So are they going to give up? Are they going to move on? How long can you play the victim? Kept promises, home, only you. Oh, they're going to keep it up. Attached, devoted, craving, home. This is specifically for someone that's married, that has a commitment, a legal binding commitment. And I'm not a proponent for breaking marriages up. It happened to me. But when I look in hindsight, the marriage was awful, whether we had 3 kids or not. Failure's not an option. See, somebody is not wanting to budge because they don't want to fail. Failure's not an option. But that in itself is, again, a trap. Because if you're living just because you don't want to fail, failure happens when you make mistakes, so you rectify them. There's a saying about learn from other people's mistakes because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. So, don't be stubborn. Cut your losses when it's time. Don't go down with the ship. Yeah, it's a spiritual path. This karmic's relationship with this divine masculine that belongs to a divine feminine, his divine counterpart, is also a catalyst for the karmic to begin their ascension, their spiritual awakening, and abandonment. And in order for that to happen, they have to detach and be abandoned. What else? What else? What else? Tell me more about the ascension for the karmic. And I hope the karmic watches this, at least recognizing that they are a karmic and they need to get out of a relationship that they don't belong in. Maybe you don't know that your person is a divine masculine. Or you don't understand that. Or maybe it's just, you're just not happy. Just be authentic. So what's the trap? Stealing your ideas, pretending they invented them. Is that what you do? Do you steal ideas? Because what you do when you start your spiritual path of being authentic, you have to recognize your behavior. So what else is the karmic? What else is the karmic up to? What else is the karmic up to? Of narcissistic behavior, but they also they're they're they don't want to let go. This could be a soulmate, not a twin flame, but a soulmate that they don't want to leave. And I don't like to tell this story, but I was with a soulmate for 13 years. And after all the failed relationships I had were terrible and toxic, especially my ex-husband who was a narcissist that I had children with. Wow, lockdown. My last relationship before I met my twin was a soulmate, and I did not want to leave him. And as long as we tried to stay together, we kept breaking. Not because we didn't love each other, it was because the universe and life was trying to rip us apart, and we knew it. And then God asked me to leave him. And I was very adamant about not doing it. I was like, no, I don't want to. But I had to. All right. Well, there's a feeling of it looks like it's back and forth, and it feels like it's back and forth, where they feel shattered. They're in their mental prison. Um, not really sure what this talking and celebrating thing is, unless they're coming to some kind of terms that they'll always be connected. Um, but this, these two cards don't match up, and that's what I'm trying to figure out: is this trap, or this could be for some different people. Some masculines got into a relationship thinking this person was their soulmate, but it was a trap. They were very narcissistic. And that's the one that has to give them, well, they all have to give it up, whether it's a soulmate or just bad toxic relationship. All right, let's keep going. I'm getting tired. When I get tired, I'm going to have to stop. Yeah, toxicity. Toxic, overwhelmed. Then we have peace, releasing, second chance, and synchronicities. Somebody's getting a lot of synchronicities that they need to release this relationship that they actually gave a second chance to for their peace of mind. Because this is a toxic relationship. And this karmic does not want to let go. And this feels like a second chance that they're going through. Maybe more for some, but this is whatever it is, the chances that they had. I mean, hell, this guy's got four, two sets of dice, four dice. One's a 5 and a 3, which is an 8. Then we have a 4 and a 5, which is 5. And then I see a 4 and a 2, which is 6, and then a 3. Interesting. Yeah. This is somebody must be getting like number synchronicities. Anyway, they're getting signs. What is this? I'm hiding my true self, altering your values and morals, and fire. This is not a good relationship. This is a very toxic relationship, and it's gonna end. I also see someone that is running from a proposal, or they actually went out and bought a ring with the credit card. And they might have even been celebrating, because I see party here. But I feel like it was forced, and that's gonna that's gonna go away. That someone's gonna be abandoned before the ring, because it's a karma relationship that someone's in denial about. So, um, when the universe does not want you together, nobody can stop the universe from pulling you apart. And I say it out of experience as well. So, whatever it is you're being asked to sacrifice for the good of you and the good of the relationship that you're in, because it's either not your person or it's turned really, really toxic. I'm gonna pull a Rumi card, and then I'm gonna say goodbye. Okay, I'll do this later. So let's pull Rumi. So much information and guidance in these Rumi cards. I love them. I started reading them before I ever started reading cards, just for myself. And I'm only going to get the first one. What is this? Divine Discontent. And I got this earlier. I turned the deck over for the karmic reading, and this is what I got. So it came out again. And it's a 3. Divine Discontent. So remember, this is the karmic's reading. As devotion grows and passion for the divine intensifies, so too does this yearning, so much so that this may come to feel as though your heart is breaking for the divine. Or perhaps you're not quite there yet. Your heart is attached to smaller gods such as your status, your job, your lover, your body, looking a certain way, or being able to live your life in a particular way. These smaller gods are not necessarily an issue, yet you have drawn this oracle, and so it is guidance for you that the divine wants to draw you closer. Sometimes that means we'll have the meager meal wrestled from our hand, so we may feast upon something far more delectable and grand. I cannot be fed by pixelated sunsets on an animated computer screen. I yearn to be blasted by so much radiance and beauty, by the real thing, that I become stupefied. I must witness so much divine splendor that all I can utter is some incoherent grunt, my mind dissembled and my heart ignited by the presence of my beloved. I want to become a fumbling, ecstatic wreck in the presence of my beloved. I want to allow this pain, this yearning, this divine discontent to guide me to my holy lover, so my life may never be the same again. And so it shall be. The discontent divine growing within you is the beginning, not the destiny. Its purpose is to lead you into your greatest connection yet with divinity. Do not resist it. Witness it. Do not dismiss it, trying to cover up its smell with rose petals. Let your rank discontent be the pathway to divinity. Look beyond what is, what has been prized and treasured, and is now found to be plated and not the precious gold it was once esteemed to be. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. For you are my sidekick on this great holy adventure. I am here, you see, just around the corner. And I truly believe that that was so meant for the karmic to truly get on their path. Because if you are not in a divine counterpart, if you are not a divine counterpart, you are in divine discontent. And this is a solo path, a one, to find your Two of Cups, your divine counterpart. This was a perfect reading. So, with that, I hope this helped. Until I see you or speak with you again, Namaste. Have a great day.